Our story today is called The King Who Slept on Firewood and Licked Bitter Gall. A long, long time ago in ancient China, there were two neighboring kingdoms, Wu and Yu. Think of them like two competitive soccer teams that really didn't like each other, except instead of kicking balls, they headbutt each other all the time. At that time, the king of Yu was a young man named Aaron. He was brave, good-looking, and believed that if you tried hard enough, you could win anything. His people loved him, and his soldiers admired him, but his confidence sometimes made him a bit too bold. One year, the king of Wu, Jimmy, challenged Aaron to war. Aaron thought, easy win, and immediately led his army to battle. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. The Wu army was stronger, faster, and better prepared. Yu soldiers fought bravely, but in the end, Aaron's army was completely crushed. He was forced to surrender, and here came the humiliation. King Aaron, the proud ruler of Yu, had to kneel in front of King Jimmy, admit defeat, and even agreed to become his servant. Yes, you heard that right. A king became a servant. King Aaron and his queen were sent to Wu to serve Jimmy. Luckily, the trains were not invented at that time. Otherwise, it's hard to imagine what Jimmy and his army would do to Aaron's queen. Aaron cleaned stables, carried water, and even tasted the king of Wu's medicine to make sure it wasn't poisoned. Everyone whispered, "Look at the mighty King Aaron. What a pity servant." But Aaron never complained. On the outside, he looked calm. On the inside, he thought, "Just wait, Jimmy. One day, I'll return the favor." After a few years, Aaron earned Jimmy's trust. Jimmy thought, "He's harmless now. Let him go home." So Aaron and his queen returned to Yu. As soon as they arrived, Aaron called his ministers and said, "From this day on, we live simply. No luxuries, no parties, no wasting time. We will rebuild our kingdom until it's strong enough to defeat Wu." Now, Aaron knew that humans are forgetful. After a while, people might get lazy and comfortable again. So he decided to give himself and his people a constant reminder of their past humiliation. He built himself a small, rough hut. Instead of sleeping on a soft bed, he slept on a pile of hard firewood. Every night, the hard sticks poked his back, making him remember the pain of losing to Wu. And that wasn't all. He hung a bitter gall bladder from the ceiling of his hut. Every morning and night, he would lick it. The taste was so bitter it made his face twist like he'd just bitten into the world's sourest lemon. But that bitterness reminded him, this is what defeat tastes like. Never forget. That's why the phrase literally means sleeping on firewood and tasting gall. It's about enduring hardship to prepare for future success. Aaron didn't just suffer alone. He worked alongside his people. He farmed the land with farmers. He trained with the soldiers. He wore simple clothes and ate simple food. He also encouraged everyone in Yu to save resources, train hard, and never forget their defeat. Soon, Yu's fields were full, the army was strong, and the people were united. Meanwhile in Wu, King Jimmy was, well, he was enjoying himself a little too much. He threw banquets, built fancy palaces, and trusted his corrupt ministers. Aaron didn't rush into war. He waited patiently for over 10 years. That's longer than most people wait for a bus in their whole life. How many 10 years did a person have back in the day? I would say 4 to 5 the most, right? During that time, he even pretended to be friendly to Wu. He sent them gifts, congratulated Jimmy on his birthdays, and made Wu believe he was still obedient. But inside, Aaron was sharpening his sword. One year, news came that Wu's army was far away fighting another war. Aaron knew. This is the moment. Aaron's army marched into Wu's land like a tidal wave. The Wu soldiers were caught off guard, and their defense collapsed quickly. When Aaron finally stood in Wu's palace, looking at the defeated Jimmy, he remembered the days he'd been a servant, licking gall every morning. Jimmy, ashamed and beaten, couldn't bear the humiliation, and well, let's just say he didn't live to see another day. After the battle, Aaron became famous throughout the whole 7 kingdoms, not just for his victory, but for his patience and determination. The story was passed down through the ages. As a reminder, if you want to succeed, you must be willing to work hard, endure hardship, and never forget your goals, even if it takes years. Moral for today, imagine you fail a math test. Instead of giving up, you write the word revenge on a sticky note. Okay, maybe improve. The word revenge is a little harsh. Now put it on your desk and study every day until you get an A. That's basically what Aaron did, except his math test was a war, and his desk was a bed of firewood. I grew up poor. My parents were the first generation of immigration. They were making minimal wages and barely spoke English. But I knew since I was very young that once I started having a full-time job after school, things turned downside up. I could afford regular priced groceries. I had my own laptop for the first time, and I bought my first PlayStation when I was 25 years old. I just knew, to be patient and kept working hard, that one day life will be better. I never lost my hope. So next time something doesn't go your way, remember the phrase to sleep on your firewood. Taste the bitter gall, and keep working until you win. The end.